Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone, who teach and rule well. And shalom to the sincere Akim, spread his truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to talk about my mother, who basically cut me up today with a single verse concerning a situation that took place today. Because for the last couple of weeks, I've been helping my parents trying to move their stuff from the trailer park home that they have on the side that they go towards during the weekends and during the holidays, because of that trailer park that made some stupid mistakes, wherefore the people that basically have that yearly subscription there to go there every weekend and during the holidays have to move, because basically it's going to become some kind of bungalow park for people to come there only during the holidays and pay high prices and things like that. So my parents have to move from the one trailer park to the other one. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been helping them out, in the weekends, after the camp. And today something happened that at first it was like, yeah, so actually I was here for without a reason, because usually what we do is we load the I don't know how you say that in the English, but let me look it up on my other phone. Yeah, basically it's a trailer that you put behind your car. So that basically is being loaded with stuff by my parents already, either on a Saturday or we do it on a Sunday, and then we're able to drive 2 or 3 times towards the other trailer park to bring stuff there. But today, when my parents already basically filled the trailer, we only went once, early in the morning. My father, he it's quite funny actually, because last night, Saturday, he told me, yeah, we gotta wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I was waiting in the morning, like, okay, so 7 o'clock they're gonna wake up. And eventually, the alarm clock on my father rang, and then I asked him what time it was, and it was 8 o'clock. He was like, oh, but didn't you say that, we had to go there, we had to wake up at 7, leave 8. Yeah, I know, but, he told me afterwards, he explained to me that what he actually did is when he went to bed around 11, he changed his alarm clock from 7 to 8 without me telling, because he was already feeling tired and things like that. And eventually, after we came back from the first drive towards there, we came back around, what was it? I think it was around between 11 and 12 o'clock. My father was already like, I'm done with this. He didn't want to do it no more, because the last things that need to be brought there are basically the towels, that need to be laid on the new ground where they're gonna put the trailer park. So my father was not having it, and he was like, nah, I don't want to do it. And then I was like, so basically I came, for nothing here, because we only came once, for me to unload the trailer, and that was just it. But then my mom told me, like, yeah, but you cannot have the bow always bent. In Dutch, it's like saying, like, de boog kan niet altijd gespannen zijn. Which that was the Dutch version of what I just said in the English. Which means that you can't constantly put tension, upon that bow, which that bow might represent you. I haven't really thought about, what the bow represents like that in that context, but the proverb itself goes into how you cannot constantly have that tension and that constant labor, in your life, because eventually, that bow is gonna break, and you're gonna be the one to eventually break down. You see, so my father, he was, up until a point that he wanted to relax a little bit as well. Which, if you look at it from a scriptural standpoint, that means that, my father has been out of balance for a while now, and now it's catching up to him. And eventually I was also meditating about it myself, like, hey, this week, due to certain circumstances, I was not able to go to sleep early, and I only was able to, get in like 5 hours of sleep or less a couple of days during this week. Right now as well, I'm making a video as we speak around, 6 minutes past midnight, which, Yartaza, tomorrow I'll be able to be fresh, but also tomorrow I gotta go to work a little bit later, due to circumstances as well. You see, but the point of this lesson is the fact that my mom, she basically caught me up with a proverb, man, which I don't know whether it's a Greek proverb as it says on the picture, or whether it's something else, but the thing that came in my mind is like the balance, man. And what I did, while my parents were doing other things today as well, I just, went to take a nap. And after that, I felt very refreshed, even though when I was woken up again to help my father with something else, at first it was hella tired, man. But that also shows you that my body was really needing the sleep. You see? So what you can see in front of you right now is a picture where it says you will break the bow if you keep it always bent. Which that's the case, because there's going to be so much tension, constant tension on the I don't know how you say it, man, because I used to do archery. Let me see what it is. It says slats, SLATS, or lath, or batten, real, but I think y'all know what I mean when I talk about a bow. There's gonna be constant tension on there. It's gonna eventually give in and break. You see, and that's where the balance needs to come in, that we actually need to have within our life. You see, this is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord Yahawah, but a just weight is his delight. And first and foremost, this is speaking about an actual balance that is used to weigh certain products in exchange for money according to the weight. Because back in the days, certain products will be sold, kilo for so many shekels. But if you were able to slowly but surely remove a little bit of the weight from the weight that the product is being measured against, you're falsifying the balance by deceit. You see, and the Most High is against the falsifying of the balance by deceit. But this proverb, Proverbs chapter 11 verse 1, can also be used concerning your life. That a man and a woman need to be in balance. Because if you're not in balance, either you're too far to the right or too far to the left, it's going to have an impact on your life. Therefore, you need to be in balance, and if you work a lot, during the week, you need some time off during the weekend. If you work out a lot, you also need time to heal and recuperate. See, there's a balance with everything, man. Also with the things in your life, with drinking, with playing games, with the truth. You see, Because even the scripture says that a much study is weariness of the flesh. So you cannot always be occupied with the scriptures day in and day out. You see, we do need to edify the body. We do need to meditate about the scriptures. We do need to read, our scriptures as well. But everything needs to be done in a certain balance. You have to develop a certain routine, whether that's all through the Spirit or whether you like to do it by way of making a routine on paper for yourself. Every brother and sister has his or her own way, but you need to find a way that makes sure that you have a certain balance laid out for you. You see? Because even if you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, in the 1st verse, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to die, it's like a time to be born and a time to die, which that's also a balance, man. There's a balance between life and death. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. You see? A time to kill and a time to heal. And as you can see, all those things are either opposites of each other, which if you stack those two up against each other, divide them by 2, you have the half, which that's the balance, man. You have life and you have death. You have a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. You see, which if you go into that, eventually you're going to reap the fruits of your labor. You see? It says a time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. You see, even that's all in balance, man. Because how you're able to understand, what the highs are without the lows. If you don't know lows, if you don't receive the lows of your life, you don't understand what the highs are when you receive them. A child that has never, ever, ever played with technology, for instance, children in Africa, in the land of Ham, they don't know what technology is, man. They don't understand what it is to play with the things that we have in this Western world. They're very happy if they have a stick, a rope, and a ball to play with. You see? Once they receive these things, it's going to be a new thing for them. But turn it the other way around. If you have someone that has always been given the electronics that we have, and then they have to go back to basically, some quote-unquote Neanderthalistic way of playing with things, it's going to be hell for them. You see? So, first for again, a time to weep and a time to laugh. You see? A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. So also pursuing to the balance, there's a time to work and a time to rest. There's a time to work out and there's a time to rest. There's a time to enjoy drinking liquor and there's a time to refrain from drinking liquor. You see, everything happens in balance, man. You see, you cannot always have that bow bend. You can't always have it to the extreme length, either one way or the other way, because you're going to suffer as an individual. You see, for instance, for me during this week, I really had the motivation to work out 4 times this week. I performed all the 4 workouts that I actually have laid out for myself. I performed everything this week, but that means that either tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, I'm just gonna take it easy. Come home, relax a little bit. Go into the scriptures. Don't go to the gym. That's for another day during this week. You see. But everything goes through the Spirit, man. So Rawchaa, the Most High directs my step in a good and perfect balance. To the best of my abilities as well. You see. So it says, let me read verse 5 again. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rent and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Which that's all balance if you look at it from a very spiritual aspect. You see, and that's how we are supposed to walk in this truth, man, in balance. And those same things we need to apply to the world that we live in, man. Because we also have the worldly affairs that we still need to deal with on a daily basis. Even those things need to be in balance. You see, you can't always be, for instance, agitated and vexed with the things of this world. You're going to go crazy, man, because then you have the bow always bent. But then eventually you're going to break, man. So you need time as well to enjoy certain things. You see, if there's one thing that I learned during my time of doing a water fast with herbs, I learned that you should not refrain yourself from doing certain things that give you quote unquote pleasure, as long as it's not a wicked thing. As long as it's not a wicked thing, or it's not an excessive lustful thing, for instance, as the scriptures talk about with I say that with concupiscence and things like that. Just do it, man. If it makes you happy, man, just go do and learn bachata or salsa or whatever, man. Make sure that you have a balance and that you're able to do certain things that you enjoy as well, because this world is already a very tough place to live, man. Especially if you've been given the eye salve to understand and see what's going on upon this earth. It's vexing. It's heavy on the mind. Therefore you also need to make sure that you are able to relax and calm down. You see, and I'm not gonna go into what brothers all can do and things like that, because every brother and sister is able to figure it out for him or herself. I'm just here able to spark the idea in the mind that you can't always have that bow bent. You can't always focus on work and putting in certain efforts and certain things, man. Even the Most High, He instated the Sabbath. And the scripture says the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So the Sabbath was created for us so that we would be able to calm down, forcibly calm down, and take our rest. 6 days shall thou work, and the seventh shall be the Sabbath unto thee, wherein no manner of work shall be done for nobody. You see. So think about these things. Your heart is you're able to slowly but surely apply them more and more. For me, it it's like I'm going into my fourth year in this truth here, so I'm able to continue and endure. But the balance has been something that I've been struggling with for a long time right now. And I've been putting up prayers towards the Most High to help me with the balance. And Yahawashi, right now, slowly but surely, I'm, creating the balance that needs to be created in my life to be able to have everything under control. Because having a good balance in your life means that everything that you want to do in your life, is not suffering. Because if anything suffers that has a certain part in your life, then you're not in balance. You see. Let me look up what the word balance means. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna check it on my other phone. Bear with me. Babakasha. The word balance in the online etymology dictionary, and it says see, balance known. It says balanced and equilibrium. So it doesn't really give too much information. I'm going to go to the dictionary, which is the Folex dictionary that I use, the word balance. And it says a harmonious or satisfying arrangement or proportion of parts or elements as in a design. So that shows you that if you are in a balance, you have a certain harmony created in your life, which is satisfying unto yourself. You see, having everything under control. Goes into equilibrium a lot. But yeah, eventually, if you have that balance in your life, man, you're able to do everything that you need to be doing. Whether it's spending time with your children, working out, scriptures, work itself, spend time with family and brothers. First and foremost the brothers. And if you get along with your family, it's also possible that you spend the time with them. And every other thing, man. You might be into gaming, watching series, playing certain other sports. But if you're in balance, man, you're not always bending the bow on everything that you're doing. That's a good thing. That means that you're in balance. Because you can take the proverb that a bow that's always bent shall break, and apply that to everything in your life. Because if you play too much sports, for instance, if you go to the gym too much, your body's gonna get exhausted, man. You might even be more prone to injuries. You see, because even and I've been a personal trainer myself, so there's a certain programming skill that is going to be used by those higher level coaches, that after so many weeks of beating up the body and try to make it go, try to improve it every week and every training, that there has to be a deload instated, which the deload represents your body's ability to recuperate during that week. You see, but not putting too much strain on that body. You see, which that strain on your body, is eventually what's going to bring in a little bit more downward after a while if you keep on going in that manner. Because everything that you try to do at first, you're going to improve in that. If you go work out, for the first time of your life, the reason that you are improving in strength, or basically improving in strength the first weeks and things like that, is because your coordination with the weights is increasing as well. But that's going to increase the first, and afterwards, the increase is going to come in the weights and the strength. You see, so there is a balance to all these things, man. You see, so your Tazah, this lesson was edifying, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone, who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading truth and sincerity. Shalom.